Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam 3.2.5.1.6. Aham Mama Vimanote Kamalobhati Nirmalai Vitam Yeda Manasuddham Adukam Ashukam Samam. Aham Mama Vimanote Kamalobhati Nirmalai Vitam Yeda Manasuddham Ashukam Samam Adukam Ashukam Samam. Okay. So thanks for, I would like to convey my, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and would like to get the blessings. I'd like to seek the blessings from Radha Gopijana Vallabha, His Grace Eagle Kishore Prabhu, Bhagavatacharya Prabhu, Shyam Kishore Prabhu, and all the Vaishnavis and whoever the devotees in the Zoom are seeking the blessings. Before discussing on 3.25.1.6. Translation by, Aham, I, Mama, mind, Abhimana, from the misconception, Uttai, produced, Kama, lust, Lobha, greed, Adibi, and so on, Malai, from the impurities, Vitam, freed, Yada, when, Mana, the mind, Suddham, pure, Adukam, without distress, Asukam, without happiness, Samam, equipoised. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When one is completely cleansed of the impurities of lust and greed produced from the false identification of the body as I and bodily possessions as mine, one's mind becomes purified. In that pure state, he transcends the stage of so-called material happiness and distress. Purport: Kama and Lobha are the symptoms of material existence. Everyone always desires to possess something. It is said here that desire and greed are the products of false identification of oneself with the body. When one becomes free from this contamination, then his mind and consciousness also become freed and attain their original state. Mind, consciousness, and the living entity exist. Whenever we speak of the living entity, this includes the mind and consciousness. The difference between conditioned life and the liberated life occurs when we purify the mind and the consciousness. When they are purified, one becomes transcendental to material happiness and distress. In the beginning, Lord Kapila has said that perfect yoga enables one to transcend the platform of material distress and happiness. Now, this can be done, is explained here. One has to purify his mind and consciousness. This can be done by the Bhakti Yoga system. As explained in the Narada Pancharatra, one's mind and senses should be purified. Tat paratvena nirmalam. One's senses must be engaged in devotional service to the Lord. That is the process. The mind must have some engagement. One cannot make the mind vacant. Of course, there are some foolish attempts to try to make the mind vacant or void, but that is not possible. The only process that will purify the mind is to engage it in Krishna. The mind must be engaged. If we engage our mind in Krishna, naturally, the consciousness becomes purified. and there is no chance of the entrance of material desire and greed. So I'm, for my own purification, I'm going to repeat the words of Acharyas, what they discussed. So once the living entity comes in contact with this material nature, we identify ourselves as this body. And that is the lust and greed are coming because of that false identification of the body. So what is lust? It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Atmanendriya Priti Vancha, Tare Bali Kama, Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Prema Dhama. When one satisfies our senses, it is lust. When one satisfies Krishna's senses by our own senses, that is love. So, like if I try to eat gulab jamun, my tongue, lust. When we try to hear some music, oh, so super, so nice, lust. When we try to watch some cricket or movies, it's lust. But at the same time, when we try to serve the Krishna senses, when we try to serve the Krishna senses, that is pure love. So this lust comes because we identify ourselves as body. I belong to this nation. I belong to this community. I belong to this caste. I am so and so. I graduated from this university. I'm in Master of Science. I did my MS. Everything we revolve ourselves as from this I. Srila Prabhupada mentions it is sort of ignorance, this conception of I, because recognizing ourselves as body and the conception of I, Prabhupada mentions that is ignorance. And we try to serve so hard. Okay, if I'm not there, my project will not even, think I'm the crucial candidate of this since I'm working in IT. Like I'm just telling the real-time example. I'm the crucial candidate of this project. If I'm not there, this project will not work. That conception, and it will make us to drive like a dogs. We just try to work day in and day out, early morning, if you just log in, okay, what's going on, production issue, and the night, 24/7, we try to work like a dogs and cats, because we think without us, nothing is not going to move. So in so many years of this IT experience, I have noticed if someone is not there, maybe a month, then someone else, they do better than that person. It is all our misconception. That's what Prabhupada mentions us. They are the Muda fools, because we are just driving this, working so hard for 4 rotis. A human being needs 4 to 5 rotis just to have the body and the life. That's all. But for that 4 and 5 chapatis, rotis, we work hard, so hard. And we are conception that without me, nothing is going to work. Without me, the business will flop. Without me, this nation is not going to run. Without me, the community will struggle. Without me, everything we relate to ourselves as bodily conception. There is no Sambandha Jnana. The Sambandha Jnana is we should relate ourselves to Krishna. So so Krishna has provided me this opportunity, but there is no Sambandha Jnana. If there is no Sambandha Jnana, we relate ourselves into bodily conception, and we relate ourselves as my son, my daughter, so on. So, so here, the next point Srila Prabhupada mentions in this verse is mind and consciousness. So what are the 6 enemies of mind? The 6 enemies of the mind is kama, lust, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, moha, attachment, mada, pride, ahankar, matsarya, envy, we can say. And there is another thing called ichshadya, jealous. So let's see. What is the lust we have seen? When we try to satisfy our own senses, that is lust. So krodha, when I wanted to buy some BMW car. but somehow it's not possible. So that becomes krodha, anger comes. Anger comes. If there is, when I'm not able to buy that car, anger comes. Now I wanted to buy BMW car, but I wanted to buy the Nissan Sentra because I don't have that enough money, or Tesla car. I don't have that enough money. So greed comes. Why I wanted to get that? I wanted to get that. So there is a difference between krodha and lobha. And moha and matsarya, envy, and itsarya, jealous. So jealous, there is a difference, subtle difference between jealous and envy. So suppose I'm making a garland, okay, and some other Mataji is making nicer garland than me. So I feel this Mataji garland is better than me, jealous. But if at all I'm not even able to do any seva, and I'm just like envy, that envy develops. So that's what, like, those are the 6 enemies of the mind, which will give this bondage to this material world. So how to overcome these 6 enemies of the mind? Prabhupada mentions, we will see there are a couple of approaches, like His Grace Gorgovind Maharaj says, how to convert that lust into love. So he compares that lust means it's a barren land, and love means it is a fertile land. So when if you want to convert that barren land to fertile land, we need the flow of cultivation. So this flow of cultivation, it is like Guru. What is Guru? Flow represents like Guru Tattva, Balramji. So if we follow this Guru instruction, when we start cultivating the barren land, there will be there will be a lot of disturbance. Similarly, we have to follow this Guru's instruction to convert our lust to love. So the perfect example we can see in the Shastra is Ravana. So the Ravana is a perfect example of lust. He wants to enjoy Mother Sita, but Hanumanji, he wants to serve Lord Ramachandra by searching Sita, and he wants to combine the energy and energetic. That's what Hanuman service to Lord Ram is considered as love. But Ravana, he wants to enjoy Sita. For that, is any Jiva Tattva can kill Ravana? No. But only the powerful, that lust, what Ravana had is, even Ravana actually, he's 10-headed. He's Dasananda, he's 10-headed. If he cuts one head, 10 heads will grow. That much powerful he is. But like that, in our spiritual path also, if we try to cut one thing, 10 things will develop. But what is the powerful weapon Lord Ramachandra used to kill Ravana? He has to send so many arrows, and he has to pierce his stomach at the same time, some 30 arrows or something to kill Ravana. That much powerful he was. Similarly, when we have lust and when we try to follow the Guru's instruction, and Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, take out that lust, what is accumulated in our heart, and he converts that lust into love. So this is one example which is mentioned. This is one example. And also there is another thing which is mentioned. Another thing which is mentioned in the Shastras is how to cleanse our mind. It is mentioned as Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantoste Abhadrani Vidunoti Shud Satam. Shunvatam Swakata Krishna. When we hear about the Kirtana, hear about Krishna's narration, hear about Krishna's pastime, hear about his glories, hear about his devotees, Krishna's devotees and narrations and his incarnations. Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, when we speak about the Krishna glories, when we try to speak, when we speak about Krishna's glories, what it will happen? So why, how the cleansing has happened? Hridayanta stohi abhadrani. Abhadrani means inauspicious things. Inauspicious things which is accumulated in our heart. What is the inauspicious thing? Desire to enjoy the matter. Desire to enjoy the matter. Vidunoti shuhud satam. Vidunoti. So who cleanses? Shuhud, friend, and Krishna, he himself, who is sitting as Paramatma in our heart, he start cleansing our that abhadranis, the desire to enjoy this matter, and he starts cleaning our mind. So that is what this is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayanto Stohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Shuddha Sada. So someone might ask, oh, this person, we just try to do fault finding. This person is listening Bhagavatam class. So and so Mataji is giving a Bhagavatam class, or Prabhuji is giving Bhagavatam class. But we still do find a fault. Oh, this Mataji is like this Prabhu is like this, so and so. We try to find a fault. Why? Because we should understand that that they are in the process of cleansing. So we should not find a fault with. They are in the process of. So this devotees, at least they went and take. They went to take shower. Some devotees, because we have accumulated this dust millions of trillions of lifetimes, so we have a lot of dust accumulated in our body. So when we try to start cleansing, some people will put the soap very vigorously. Some people will be mild cleanings like that, but still the dust will be there, but at least they are in the process of cleansing the mind. So we should be grateful for that one, rather than doing this fault finding. So we should understand, when someone does any thing, okay, this Prabhu speaks so much, he speaks so much, or this Mataji speaks so much in the class, but when we see do this fault finding, that is our nature, we do fault finding, but we should really think that so and so Prabhuji or Mataji, whoever is speaking the Bhagavatam class, they might have their own thing, but they are in the process of cleansing the mind. So that we should avoid this fault finding. So that is one thing Prabhupada mentions. And also Prabhupada mentions, like, there is a Vayasatita. He specifically mentions what is Vayasatita. So any literature which does not glorify Sri Hari, that is Vayasatita. So what is Vayasatita means? It is the place where the crows enjoy. So what the crows enjoy? The crows find some pleasure in the garbage. The crows and swans, consider the swans and crows. Swans wants to stay in the place where there is a pure water and then lotus, beauty scenery, but the crows, they find a pleasure in garbage, and then they assemble, and then they started speaking. So that is the mentality of the crow. So the mentality of the crow is compared to this material world, where this mudas, the mudas, where they try to find that happiness in this material world by drinking wine, ladies, all these things, this like a garbage thing. But the saintly personalities, like the acharyas, they are like the swans. They are compared like the swans. They find happiness only when they serve Krishna. That is the real happiness. So that's why there are different mundane literatures. Crow and swan cannot be seen. We cannot become that mentality of crow and swan to be in the same mentality. So that's why there are different mundane literatures according to their own modes of nature. So we should follow that. We should avoid that sensual pleasures by reading mundane literatures like newspapers. There is nothing about Srihari and about this so-called novels, Harry Potter's. Nothing about Srihari. That's all considered as Vayasa Tirtha. So that is mentioned by Prabhupada that always we should be focused in reading about Srihari. Always we should be listening about Srihari. Always we should be speaking about Srihari. That is what it gives the permanent happiness. That's why the soul becomes really blissful. So how this mind gets tricks? Okay, today how this? So the mind is very powerful. I can give one example. I was reading in Srila Prabhupada Memories actually. When I was reading Srila Prabhupada Memories, Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada was going in the train. It's too congested. The train it's a local train. Somewhere they were traveling. Okay, so Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Prabhupada, they were sitting quite opposite to each other. And there are a lot of people, one family, some station came and some family got into the train. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, out of his compassion, he gave some room to the Prabhu who can sit. Okay, to that Prabhu, that family, that father. Okay, slowly he sat. Then slowly he started to squeeze Tamal Krishna Swami Maharaj. Moving. Then he made a room for his kids. And then the kids started moving, trying to accommodate. Finally, his wife came and said that the whole family is sad. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he didn't have any room to sit. Finally, he woke up and he looked at Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, "This is how Maya tricks." So how the Maya tricks is, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up for the Mangalati. Okay, it is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If we start chatting, it's okay. This is how the Maya tricks. Always Maya tries to pull away from us like a 5 o'clock. Okay, we will sleep. Okay, go to temple. Okay, maybe some other day. So everything Maya is tricking so strongly. The Maya is so powerful. Krishna says, Mama Maya Durataya. That is, Maya is really powerful. If you want to really conquer Maya, we have to pray Maya Pati. That is Krishna. We have to pray him. We have to take shelter of that Maya Pati. So when actually how the mind tricks. So, and also the mind tricks when I wanted to do some service. No, your health is not doing good. Probably next year. So the Maya is like, Maya wants to keep us this bodily consumption and we wanted to be in bodily comfort zone. That's why it is tricks. So I wanted to give some example how like in real time, like people sometimes they come out of this bodily comfort zone for the higher purposes of this material. Suppose in some house, any marriage or something is happening. So parents they do sacrifice. Parents they do sacrifice for the like the in order to marriage to happen successfully. They work for months, like by inviting, printing the greeting cards, inviting, priesting, arranging feast. It's like so much they do. Like completely, they will be like they just sacrifice. They don't even consider about this bodily comforts and everything. Why not? I will just tell my own example. So last year, my father has passed away, Jan 14. So my passport was expired. Okay, so then morning we got a call, 3:30, that father passed away. So I have to go to India. So this passport is expired. So my brother started applying in the passport and we called Chennai, Chicago consulate and Indian consulate and we wanted to go there. And first we have to go to VFS office. We went and when the time we reached the VFS office, we finished all the paperwork. And then Gopinath, they wanted to apply because Gopinath also needs a visa for Indian visa. So my Prabhu and Gopinath has to stay back in VFS office. And the consulate, I have to go and collect my passport in consulate, same day passport service. So what happened is, we had only one car because we are traveling from Chicago to India. We had only one car. Peak winter of January. It's a windy city, Chicago. So I started walking from VFS office to Chicago. I don't know where is consulate office. They said it may be close by, hardly within 15 to 20 minutes I will reach. So in the cold weather, wind weather, I started walking. Having a simple jacket, I started walking. Just praying to Krishna. Same thing. If Mataji or Prabhu calls me, Mataji, can you come for seva? But I will say, I can come for seva, but I need a ride. I can come for seva, but because comfort zone, I will not. But what happened to me there? Nothing happened. Somehow I was praying to Krishna. My only goal was to get the passport and reach India because my father body is waiting. I'm struggling, but the same thing, I don't like, at least myself. I'm saying at least I don't show that type of sincerity or leaving the bodily comfort zone, leaving the body comfort zone. When I'm serving Krishna, I put a condition. If I get a car ride, I'll come and do the service. But what happened? Nothing happened on that day for me. I didn't get cold. I didn't get body pain. I didn't get anything. But because my goal was to get the passport to serve, to go and do the funeral rites to my father. But the same thing, Acharyas, because this is, I'm connecting myself as body. He's my father. I'm connecting myself as body. But the Acharyas like Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, they, all the Acharyas, Raghunath Das Goswami, he walked 14 days. Hardly he ate 2-3 times. He ate 2-3 times when he was traveling to Puri to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he wants to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left all these bodily comforts. He had beautiful wife. He was a millionaire at that time. So he left all this bodily comfort zone. Same thing, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada came to West to please his guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Only to please his guru, he took that much risk. He suffered heart attacks. For what? He decided. Yesterday I was reading his Srila Prabhupada memories. He mentions this Western country as hell. He's ready to stay in the hell if he's able to please Lord Chaitanya. That is, they never consider this bodily comfort zone. They always out of how to serve Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to serve Krishna. But at least people like me, we see always like try to do this bodily comfort. So at least I should try to follow the footsteps of Acharyas, try to come out of this bodily platform and serve Krishna. And how to engage ourselves. Okay, we saw how to cleanse our mind. That is Shravana and Kirtana. But Ambarish Maharaj, he it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, how to engage completely ourselves into Krishna, because the mind cannot be vacant. If the mind is be vacant, okay, this moment, if I think about Vrindavan, my mind will be in Vrindavan. If I think about Mayapur, this moment my mind will be Mayapur. Somehow in this NASA website and all, I have seen this Saturn or Jupiter planet. If I think about this Saturn planet, even my mind goes to Saturn planet. But physically, I cannot even go to Jupiter planet or Saturn planet. It's impossible. Even to go to Vrindavan, I have to buy ticket and get ready and so many things. But my mind is so flickering every second, every moment, any part of this world, even any part of this solar system, even I can travel this mind. Arjuna says, even I can control the wind. My mind cannot be controlled. So Prabhupada mentions it's impossible to control our mind. Mind cannot be vacant. So we have to divert our mind towards Krishna's service. How? That is mentioning Ninth canto, Savaimana Krishna Padara Vindoyo, Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnani, Karo Hare Mandira Majana Dusho, Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Sat Katodeya, Mukunda Linga Laya Darshane Dusho, Tadbritya Padabi Vandane, Kamam Cha Dashena, Natu Kama Kamyaya, Yeto Tamasloga, Janashraya Rati. Savaimana Krishna Padara Vindayo. That is Ambarish Maharaj, always meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Savaimana Krishna Padara Vindayo. Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunana Varnani. He's speaking the glories of that Vaikunta Adipati, that Sri Hari Vaikunta, Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunana Varnani, Karo Hare Mandira Majana Disho. With his hands, he's cleaning the temple. Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Shat Katodeya, always hearing the glories of the Lord. Mukunda Linga Layadashani Dusho, with his two eyes, he's seeing the beautiful form of Krishna. That Britya Gatra Sparshanenga Sangamam, with this touch senses, in order to satisfy the touch sense. So he's serving the devotees of the Lord by massaging them, by taking the blessings. So he's satisfying his touch sense. Grahanam chat tat pada saroja sarovi srimat lasyaya rasanam tadarpite. He's smelling the mercy which is offered to the Lord to Hare Kshetra, the temples, Sri Hrishikesh.
Hare Krishna, is it not audible or is it just for me?
No, Mataji, it's not audible.
Yeah, not
Mataji,
audible.
I think internet issues. I think Mataji has left. Probably she'll join back.
Okay.
She's doing so good. I was so surprised.
It's amazing. She's giving a wonderful class. And you know, it looks like it's like a full audience too. It's a full house. Very nice.
I remember long back at the beginning of the temple she gave one time. After that, she didn't give at all. That's so nice to listen from her again.
She used to give Mataji after
Okay.
Gopinath, she would break, I think.
So what are the symptoms of the liberated mind? Okay. When one's mind is cleansed of the impurities like lust and greed produced from false ego, one transcends material happiness and distress. At that time, soul can feel himself to be transcendent, self-effulgent, never fragmented, although very minute in size. How does this mind reach the stage? By bhakti, endowed with jnana and vairagya. So our bhakti should be with jnana and vairagya, and one sees in the right perspective. Jnana, Vairagya, right perspective means we should follow this, our Guru's instructions. Because if we follow our own perspective, that is illusion. Nothing is just an illusion. But when we follow the Guru's instruction, right direction, then eventually our mind will be liberated. So, and we can overcome this mind. So the summary of this Srimad Bhagavatam classes. So Kama and Lobha, so are that false identification because we consider ourselves as a body. So what is lust is? When we satisfy our senses is lust. And lust is the seed of all the 6 enemies. Lust, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So the lust is the seed of that mother of that all these things. So how to cleanse our mind? Shravana Kirtana. That's what it is mentioned. And how to engage ourselves. And again, the mind cannot be back, and mind always will be diluting. Mind will be always like going here and there. So how to engage ourselves? So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto about Ambarish Maharaj. So like how he engaged ourselves. So if we engage ourselves, if we divert our mind towards Krishna, and if we for the process by jnana and vairagya, by jnana and vairagya, and that the mind will be liberated and have the glimpse of Lord eternally. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. So this class is for my own purification. Again, I endeavor the acharyas. So thank you so much, devotees. So any questions?
Thank you for the nice class, Lalita Sundari Mataji. Hari Bol.
Amazing class, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lal Sundari. It was really amazing. I have a question. Where were you all these years? Where did you disappear? We need more of you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for the wonderful class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Lalita Sundari Mataji. Nice class.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Good to know.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mataji.
so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.